Have you ever tried to be normal while always knowing you were different? Me too. Hello, all of you beautiful little misfits, you little weirdos. It's me. So today I want to talk to you guys about, when you're having one of those days where it's like you just lost your mojo, your whole creative, happy energy has gone out the window and you just really don't know what to do with yourself. When you have those days and first thing you kind of want to go to is you're bad and you're wrong and why is this happening to me and all of that fun stuff. And notice how when you get that, it starts kind of snowballing and it just gets worse and you get more stuck in it and more stuck in it and more stuck in it. Well, this is a little different. So what if, one of the things that I've noticed when I do this, when I go into that, I'm not creative, I've lost my mojo, I'm never going to create, blah, 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 all of that fun stuff, is I get to a point where I'm bored. What I'm creating is not enough. My life is not big enough. So the only thing that's going to change that, and I'm sure none of you get that, that's why I'm doing this video, is adding to your life. Like truly exploring and creating and adding to what would be so joyful to have as your life and living. Now that begins, basically it begins now. It begins with the question of what would I need to add to my life today to have the life and living and future I truly desire? Ask that, and then everything that doesn't allow you to perceive, know, be, and receive that, will you destroy and uncreate it? Times a godzillion, right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, perverts, and beyonds. And see, the other thing that we do is, let's look at this thing with creation. One of the things I got to with me was I had defined creation and decided that creation is making money, having the things in my life, just about, creating access classes or creating different things like that, but they all had to be something to do with what I decided creation was, which, let me be honest, was basically money. Basically creation to me equaled money. And I looked at it and went, what if everything is the opposite of what it appears to be? And what if that is not what creation is for me? So then another question, okay, so what is creation for me truly? Now, that's a question for you because I'm already asking it. I'm already here being a misfit asking that question. But for me, what I realized was, I have this extreme joy when it comes to the ocean. So I went, okay, so what if adding that to my life today was me actually creating my life? What if that gave me a different sense of what creative energy is for me? So you know what I did? I went and got in the ocean. And then I got a different sense of the things that I could add to my life. So I say that because, let's do it this way. So what have you decided creation is that it isn't? Everything that is, times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, perverts, and beyonds. Now what have you decided creation isn't that it actually is for you? Everything that is, times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, perverts, and beyonds. So what have you decided creation is that it isn't for you? Everything that is, times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, perverts, and beyonds. And what have you decided creation isn't that it actually is? Everything that is, times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, perverts, and beyonds. Now that that's kind of fried your head and you're like, what's creation? Well, creation is choice. Every single choice you make creates something. So, when it comes to creating your life, what are the choices that you could make that would give you more of the sense of the space that's true for you? Then, hear me out. So then if you start choosing like that and you start building, let's say you build you start building a platform of, I'll call it an energetic reference of what's true for you. You know what? Like for me, the ocean gives me that sense of peace. Well, okay, now I have that sense of what's true for me. Now, what could I create out in the world with that? What could I create financially with that sense of that space of what's true for me? Notice the difference between that and I need money. That and I have to create money. Well, one has joy and possibilities, which for me is the ocean. Not sure what it is for you, but I'm hoping you discover that with this video. One has a sense of lack, a sense of never going to be enough, I'm never going to be good enough. Notice the difference. So everything that brought up, and everywhere you've got creation backwards for you, where you destroy and uncreate all that. Times a godzillion, right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, perverts, and beyonds. Now, next thing that I want to add in on this whole losing your mojo thing is, you know when you have things in your life that you just don't want to look at? Or is that just me? Nah, it's you too. I know it's you too. I know it. Don't hide it from me. You can hide it from you, but you can't hide it from me. Well, what about this? Write a list of the top 10 things that you are avoiding, that you do not want to deal with. Now, what if you took one of those things for the next 10 days and just handled it? Whatever that is. If you've got to call somebody, if you've got to make an apology, if you've got to, look at some finances that you've been avoiding, if you've got to, whatever that is for you. Do one of those things every day and notice how much that actually starts freeing up the space in your world that you can now be using with your newfound awareness of what creation is for you. So I know for me, when I've got something in my world that I don't want to look at, that I'm avoiding, that is where all of my energy is going. Anything you are avoiding, you are putting all of your energy into avoiding it. So everything that doesn't allow you to perceive, know, be, and receive that. Times a godzillion where you destroy and uncreate it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, perverts, and beyonds. So there you go. Hopefully that contributes. Hopefully that gives you a bit more joy with creation, but hopefully this begins to give you more of a sense of what creation is for you, because what I'm finding out for me is it ain't what I thought it was. So there you go. Adore you all. Have fun. Bye.